join from browser and I'm नहीं वो तो इंटरनेट की वजह से आ रहा है तो मुझे लग रहा है गूगल का एरर आ रहा है आपका भी जो ना हमारे इंटरनेट इसकी ना मैं वो आप last step maybe today we will do the exercise of chapter number 10 okay science chapter number 10 exercise. Take out page number 16 in your book. First question is about multiple choice questions. Okay. First question is that the process of gaseous exchange involves. Option A is given a breakdown of CH bonds to yield energy. Number 2, physical movements that take air in and out of the body. Number 3, getting oxygen from the air and removing carbon dioxide. And option D is transport oxygen by the blood to different parts of the body. So question is that the process of gaseous exchange involves. What is happen in gaseous exchange? So if we see the options, we can understand that option C is the right answer. Getting oxygen from the air and removing carbon dioxide. Okay. So first question is that MCQs. Question number 1. Option C is the right answer. Okay, so this is the right answer. Now come to question number 2. Most of the gaseous exchange in a leaf occurs through. We also discussed there are different methods of gaseous exchange in plants. Okay, plants can exchange gases through stomata. They can exchange gases through lattices, and they can exchange gases through mesophyll cells. And among them, the most common method is stomata. Okay, now we will see the options. Option A is stomata. Option B is general surface. Option C is cuticle, and option D is lattices. Okay, so the question is that most of the gaseous exchange. Okay, I have told you most of the gaseous exchange in a leaf occurs through option A. Option A is the right answer, stomata. Question number 2. Option A is the right answer. Okay, so take it your book. Now come to question number 3. Question number 3 is that how many bronchi are there in the air passageway? How many bronchi? We also discuss in the chapter in air passageway. When air enters into our trachea divided into two parts. Right part goes into the right lung and left part goes into the left lung. And when this trachea enters into a lung, it further divided into small tubes. These small tubes are called bronchioles, and collectively it is called a bronchi. So in this question, they are asking how many bronchi are there in the air passageway. So definitely, if we have two lungs, so definitely we have two bronchi. Okay. So now we will see the options. Option A is 1 answer. Option B is 2. This is right answer. Option C is many, wrong answer, and option D is none. So what is the right answer of question number 3? The right answer of question number 3 is option B. Question number 3, right answer is option B. This is the right answer. Now come to question number 4. Where does the gaseous exchange occur in humans? So if you keep in your mind the respiratory tract of humans, we have discussed that air enters into the human body through nostrils, then enters into nasal cavity. After nasal cavity, it comes into a glottis, epiglottis, pharynx, larynx, and then your trachea. And this trachea, when enters into your lung, further divided into small tubes which are called bronchioles. And at the end of every bronchioles, there are air sacs. These air sacs are present in the form of cluster. So actual gaseous exchange is happen in the lungs, in the alveoli. Okay. Now we will see the options. Question question number 4. Where does the gaseous exchange occur in humans? So option A is that pharynx, no. Trachea, no. These are the air tracts. Bronchi, no. Alveoli, yes. Alveoli is the right answer. Option D is the right answer. Okay. So question number 4. Question number 4. Option D is the right answer. Now we will go to question number 5. Question number 5. Which structure activity helps in taking the air out of lungs? Okay. So you have to tell which structure in human body is responsible to taking the air out of lungs, to push the air to remove out of the lungs. Okay. So if we see the respiratory tract of a humans, we also learn about the mechanism of breathing, in which we discuss the process of exhalation and inhalation. So when inhalation is happened at that time, a muscular sheath which is present under our lungs, that becomes fatter. Why? Because more and more air can enter into our body. But when the lungs are filled with carbon dioxide and it should be exhaled from the body of a person, at that time, what is happened? The muscular sheath of diaphragm go upward, goes in the shape of dome, comes into the dome shape and push the air to go out of the lungs. So actually, which structure is responsible to go out air out of the lungs? That is our diaphragm. Okay, so now we will see the options. The options are nasal cavity, no, in which the air enters into the lungs. Bronchus are present in the lungs, so the air can pass through it. Bronchioles, no. The right answer is option D, diaphragm. Right answer is option D, diaphragm. So this is the right answer. Now we will go to question number 6. So get your book, question number 6. The primary chemical stimulus for breathing is the concentration of. Okay, the primary chemical stimulus. Okay, so which chemical is responsible to stimulate the breathing particles in our lung, in our blood? Okay, so options are carbon dioxide in blood, oxygen in blood, carbon dioxide in muscles, oxygen in muscles. Okay, first of all, I will explain you the question. What is the question? In this question, they are asking which stimulus, which object is responsible to help in exhalation. Okay, I have told you when we discussing the respiratory tract, I have told you when our oxygenated blood goes each and every cells in our body, and when cellular respiration is started, at that time all cells get oxygen from the blood and in return produce carbon dioxide. And we all know that carbon dioxide is not good for our health, so it can cause us to make the blood viscous. So what is happened at that time? This whole blood again goes into our lungs, and that carbon dioxide is out from our lungs through a process of exhalation. Okay. So keep in your mind which stimulus make the blood taken out air from the lung. That is carbon dioxide in our blood. Now we will see the options. Options are carbon dioxide in blood. Option A is the right answer. Option B, oxygen in blood. This is wrong. Carbon dioxide in muscle. This is also wrong. Oxygen in muscle. This is also wrong. Okay. So what is the right answer? Question number 6. Option A is the right answer. Option A is the right answer. Now we will come to question number 7. Point out the false statement about respiration. So you have to choose false statement which is not related to respiration. So option A is gases can easily pass through the walls of the alveoli. This is true. This is true statement because we know this thing that gaseous exchange happens only in the gaseous exchange happens only in the alveoli. Okay. Question number B, and we have to find out the false statement. Option B, gas exchange in lungs is very efficient because lungs provide large surface area. This is also true because when we inhale air, at that time our lungs goes to its regional composition. When we exhale air, at that time our lungs are raised. Okay, so this air is out from our lungs by pushing the muscular sheath, which is called diaphragm. Okay, then option C, in emphysema the walls of alveoli break and there is more surface area. So actually this is a false statement because we have discussed when a person is caught by an emphysema, this is a destruction of walls of alveoli. So at that time the surface area of lungs becomes narrow. Okay, it can squeeze. So this is a wrong statement. In emphysema, the walls of alveoli break and there is more surface area. No, it has less surface area. Okay, so this is a wrong statement and this is the right option of question number C, part C. Number D, we also discussed dust particles can damage the lung by irritating the inner alveoli surface. This is not a true statement. Okay, this is also a true statement that dust particles can also damage our trachea. Okay, so what is the false statement? Question number C. The right answer is C. Question number 7. The correct answer is option C. Mark in your book. Now we will come to question number 8. A disease involving the breakdown of air sacs of the lungs is. I told you that destruction of wall of alveoli. That disease is called emphysema. Okay, we have discussed in that chapter. Okay, so a disease involving the breakdown of air sacs. So what are air sacs? Actually, air sacs are alveoli. Okay, so if I read it like this, a disease involving the breakdown of alveoli of the lung is. So what is the right answer? You should know this thing. Option A is pneumonia. No. Pneumonia is an infection of lungs in which the tissues of lungs are broken down. Okay. Bronchitis, no. Bronchitis is an inflammation of bronchioles. Asthma, no. Asthma is a form of allergy in which the bronchioles become narrower. Okay. So what is the right answer? Option D, emphysema, the destruction of walls of alveoli, or in other words, you can say the destruction of walls of ear sacs. Okay, both are same. That disease is called emphysema. Okay, so question number 8, the right answer is D. Question number 8, the right option is D. Now come to question number 9. Question number 9, which process does not occur in the nasal cavity? So if we remember what we have learned in nasal cavity, we know when air enters into our nose through nostrils, then it goes into our nasal cavity, and our nasal cavity is divided into two parts by a wall, and it performs two important functions. First, it produces mucus, okay, which stop the dust particle, and secondly, it change the temperature of the air, because we all of know our optimum body temperature is 37 degrees centigrade, but in your surrounding, air can be very hot, air can be very cold. But when this air enters into our nasal cavity through nostril, so this is the function of nasal cavity to change the temperature of that air, okay, according to our body temperature. Okay, so keep in your mind these things. So in this question, which process does not occur in the nasal cavity? It means we have to find that process which is not done in the nasal cavity. Option A is trapping a large dust particles. This is done, so this is not the right answer. Option B, humidification of the inhaled air. Wrong answer. Option C, warming of the inhaled air. No, wrong answer. Option D, exchange of gases. Yes, this is the right answer. Option B is that exchange of gases. So question number 9. Option B is the right answer. Now come to question number 10. What type of blood vessels surrounds the alveoli? What type of blood vessels? Okay. So we all of know we also learn these things in class 9, chapter number 9 bio, that we have three types of blood vessels in our body: arteries, veins, and capillaries. Okay. So in this question they are asking which type of blood vessels surrounds the alveoli, which cover the alveoli. Okay, so the options are given: artery, no. The function of artery is there to take blood from main aorta and take to the relevant organ inside our body. Arterioles, no. Okay, these are small arteries. Then capillary, yes. Capillaries are the small tubes which are present inside our lungs and which are responsible to cover the surface area of alveoli. Okay, and option B is vein. This is also wrong answer because the function of vein is that to take excess blood from our organ and take back to the main aorta, take back to the heart. Okay, so what is the right answer? The right answer is option C, capillary. Okay, so question number 10. Option C is the right answer. Okay, so I am repeating your answers again. Number 1 MCQs, number 1 question, option C is the right answer. Question number 2, option A is the right answer. Question number 3, option B is the right answer. Question number 4, option B is the right answer. Question number 5, option B is the right answer. 6, option A is the right answer. 7, option C is the right answer. 8, question number D is the right answer. 9, option D is the right answer. 10, again option C is the right answer. So I hope to understand all the MCQs with logic and reasoning. Okay. Now we will do the next question. Class 4. Okay, beta, next question is that short questions. Short question answers. Okay. First question is that differentiate between breathing and cellular respiration. Okay. So you have to tell the differentiation. Okay. Breathing and respiration. So when you attempt this question in your register, you have to make a column. Okay. So you also discuss the definition of breathing and cellular respiration in your book. Take out page number 2. Mark the answer in your book. Question number 2, page number 2. Okay. What is the cellular respiration? It is given in first paragraph, second line. Cellular respiration is the process in which the CH bonds in food are broken by oxidation reduction reactions and the energy is transferred into ATP. This is your cellular respiration. Sorry, we have to tell about the breathing and cellular respiration. Okay, so you will write the answer here, cellular respiration. Now, what is breathing? Okay, so look at third paragraph, page number 2. The term breathing is used for the process through which animals take air in the bodies to get oxygen from it and then give out the air to get rid of carbon dioxide. So mark in your book. This answer you will write in this column. Okay, so this is the differentiation. Now come to question number 2. Short question answers, page number 17. Trace the path of air from the nasal cavity to the alveoli. Trace the path. trace path of nasal cavity. Okay, so come to our under the heading of air passageway. Okay, first is nasal cavity. Nasal cavity, then nostrils, okay, then pharynx, then next comes to glottis, after that larynx, then trachea, then trachea, then bronchi, then bronchioles, bronchioles, then alveolar duct, and the last one is alveolar. So this is the air passage pathway which you have to mention. You have to make a path, nasal cavity, then nostrils, pharynx, glottis, larynx, trachea, bronchi, bronchioles, alveolar duct, and the last one is alveolar. Okay. So this is the answer of question number 2. This is the answer of question number 2. Okay, come to question number 3. This is again short question. How will you differentiate between a stroma and a lenticule? Okay, come to the page number 3. Come to page number 3 in your book. First, we will write the definition of stroma or stomata. Okay, in single form we write stroma, and many stroma are called stomata. Okay, so come to the definition of stomata, page number 2. Under the heading of gaseous exchange in plants, first paragraph, the leaves and germ stems have stomata in their epidermis. The gaseous exchange occurs through these stomata. The inner cells of leaves and stems also have air spaces among them, which help in the exchange of gases. Mark in your book, page number 2, under the heading of gaseous exchange in plants. The leaves and germ stems have stomata in their epidermis. The gaseous exchange occurs through these stomata. The inner cells of leaves, mesophyll and stems also have air spaces among them which help in the exchange of gases. Okay, mark in your book. Now come to the second definition of lenticels. Come to page number 3. Okay, second last paragraph. You can see it is given in woody stems and mature roots. Okay, you will start from here. In woody stems and mature roots, special pores are present, which is called lenticels. The lenticels allow air to pass through them. Okay, so you will write the definition of how we should differentiate. Okay, you have to differentiate. You will make a column. Okay, in first column you will write the definition of stomata, and in the second column you will write the definition of lenticels. Okay, I hope you have marked in your book. Okay, so come to the long questions. Long question: how do the different parts of the plant body exchange gases with the environment? Okay, so come to the page number 2. This is a long question. Gaseous exchange in plant. This topic is given. Okay, mark in your book. Answer will start. Plants have no organ system. It will start from here till page number 3. The last line is there. The aquatic plants get the oxygen dissolved in water and release carbon dioxide in the water. Okay, so this is your question number 1 answer. It is given on page number 2 and 3. Come to second long question. Write down the steps of inhalation and exhalation. Actually, you have to discuss about the mechanism of breathing. Come to page number 7. Okay, the mechanism of breathing: inspiration or inhalation, expiration or exhalation. And if you keep in your mind, when I have discussed this topic with you, I have made a column inhalation and exhalation. And I have explained you 4 parts of inhalation and 4 parts of exhalation. Okay. So when you will write this answer, you also follow these 4 points: inhalation and exhalation, and then to write in your registers. Now come to question number 3. State the signs and symptoms, causes and treatment of bronchitis, emphysema and pneumonia. Okay. In this question, you have to tell 4 things. Signs and symptoms, it means you have to tell first is symptoms. Second, you have to tell causes. And third, you have to tell the treatment. So in this question, these 3 headings are important. If we take an example of bronchitis, we all of know what are the symptoms of bronchitis: shortness of breath, fever, recurring attacks of fever, chills, and shortness of breath. Okay. What are causes of bronchitis? It can be due to pollution. It can be due to any viral infection. And what is the treatment of bronchitis? Different antibiotics and vaccine are present in the market. Our patient can take this medicine and improve its remission. Okay. So you have, when to attempt this question, you have to attempt only 3 diseases, 3 respiratory illness: bronchitis, emphysema, and pneumonia. And under the heading of these topics, you have to write about symptoms, causes, and treatment. Okay. Now the last long question is that how does the tobacco smoke damage the respiratory system? How does the tobacco smoke? I have told you in a detail yesterday in my lecture that tobacco smoke consists of 4 dangerous chemicals, which are tar, nicotine, carbon monoxide, and carcinogens. Okay, so how it affects on a health of a person, you will see on page number 14. Bad effects of smoking. Okay, the heading is given, topic is given, bad effects of smoking. So you will tell how tobacco smoke can affect a person's health. So first point is given that in ancient time people think about a smoking related disease, but this is not true. Second, bad effect is given. It is not only effect on lungs, but it can affect on kidneys, oral cavity, larynx, breast, bladder, and pancreas. Okay, then it can also disturb the air passageway, can cause of different respiratory disorders. Then it can make the blood viscous due to the concentration of carbon dioxide in the blood. And the smokers, the persons who are passive smokers, they are also at the risk of heart attack and other diseases related to smoking. And smoking is also responsible for weakening and staining the teeth, and tooth loss 2 to 3 times higher in smokers than in non-smokers. Okay, so these all points are given on page number 14 and 15 under the heading of bad effects of smoking. Okay, so this is the answer of your 4 long questions. Okay, so I hope you understand today's lecture. We have done all exercise of chapter number 10. Now your lecture has been ended. Thank you so much.